Okay, so that was a throw. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another dhan video. My name's dhan. Today we're going to be looking at an Ana player on Dorado. So, let's get looking. We do have a Moira on our team, so one of us is going to be looking to do a little bit more damage than just healing, while the other one's going to be mainly healing. So I don't care which one's doing which, but as long as we're on who's doing what, we'll be a-okay. Looks like we are playing cover a good bit. I do like how we're kind of staying to the cover and staying out of chaos. This is very good. Sleeping into a shield's obviously not going to do anything. I'd rather we wait or try to... That's very good to take out that turret up there. Unfortunately, with playing where we're playing, there are constant shields that are going between our tank and us, so it's going to be very difficult to actually heal our hog when we need to. Because we didn't rotate with our hog, we actually let him die. We definitely could have assisted him. It's going to make pushing this a lot tougher. We're playing Ana pretty far back here, but I don't think we really need to. Their team is less brawly than our comp. We do have a Symmetra, so I think us as Ana, we're actually going to do a lot more value if we actually move past this giant choke that we're in. So right now you're kind of just sitting here in this big choke. You have only one access point, which means that any spam that's going to come through here, so I could be spamming from here, hitting that choke. I could be throwing dynamites like Ash from here and hitting that choke. Literally anything that I'm going to be, you know, aiming at is going to be going in through that choke, or Mantra 2, even though the shield blocks the entire choke. So as Ana, while they were distracted from your hog pushing in all the way up here, as Ana, we probably should have just followed in and played here, and then maybe even, I don't know, rotate over here and help out with him. There's not going to be... We're not fighting with a Junkrat, right? There's not going to be any kind of huge explosions coming in this corridor that's going to be scaring us. Maybe an Ash Dynamite, but we have a health pack here to help us with that. Us standing back here just splits our team comp up too much. And if they wanted to, all 5 of them could push into the hog. And yeah, you might go up and push cart for however long it takes them to fight the hog. But as soon as they get the hog off, like, they're back to playing defense at this big choke. So whenever you find a choke like this, I want you to spend as little time as possible standing in the choke, because it's not going to do much help. And I want you to actually move through the choke. I see this a lot with low SR players. A lot of the times they see a choke and they just don't want to move through it. But as soon as your tank goes through it, you have to follow too. And then once you follow through and get through that big choke, you go back to a good position. Yeah, especially with this wall coming up, we need to move through here. That was a good sleep. This is such a weird fight because the attackers became the defenders. So that's a very unique situation. If you're attacking and then you, out of nowhere, the defending team goes behind you, rather than you guys fighting here, they're fighting for the payload. So if you see a tank and 2 healers come over and start pushing you from behind, just turn the entire fight upside down and keep fighting on this cart. You're going to take out the damage heroes. And now the 3 people are behind in your spawn. So their options are 1, go back to cart, stagger, and go back into spawn. Or 2, wait around for you guys to push up enough, and then they come fight you, but you just run over the damage again. Any situation like that happens, just keep playing on point. You guys will keep getting it. The good news is, because of that weird shenanigan play, you guys end up on top, and you guys cap the first point. I think we could scope in more. Remember, you're going to get more accuracy when you scope in because you become hit scan when you scope in. Your accuracy, I think, is also easier when you are scoped in because anywhere in that triangle when Ana scopes in is just about a hit. It's not everything, but it's pretty forgiving. I would probably go sleep, Bob. Probably announce that you're sleeping, Bob, though. Keep an eye on your Zarya. That's good. I'm seeing that we're constantly aiming towards the ground. And that's kind of not setting us up for success when we want to go in and do these damage inflictions. Just ignore him. That's too much damage on her. So we're definitely getting flustered at the plays we're making. We're definitely not seeing too much of what's going on. We have to remember, as Ana, our main person we want to be healing, our main target priority is going to be the tank. So you just want to make sure that your Zarya is going to be up the whole time. And any damage that you're going to be shooting in is going to be while your Zarya's max health. Dang. So yeah, we just stopped healing the Zarya. We just failed to. You'll notice again that where you were standing again is just a giant choke, right? There's only one way we can access through here. And if that's the case, then maybe push through this choke. There were times your Zarya made space all the way up here, and rather than you deciding maybe you're going to push over here and play around this car more, or maybe, I don't know, you're going to play over here more. You know, this takes a whole different angle on the scene. You can even play here. We kind of just sat in this choke, and we were just hoping things got done. But you sitting in this choke for too long just causes people to constantly peek you to not know where to stand, since, honestly, this choke does not have almost any cover for you as a support player. So you honestly, if you're going to stand here, this is probably going to be your best place to stand. Seems like for you, the big tip is going to be looking at the choke, pushing through the choke, finding good cover, and making sure we're focused on our tank. There's a couple times where you're prioritizing damage over healing, and really the damage Ana is going to be wanting to look for is landing a nade, and once someone's purple, then Ana can start going for damage on that person. I see that we're trying to like dodge bullets and stuff. Make sure you're just in arm's reach from a wall. That's gonna help you a lot too. Same deal, we powered up our Zarya, but unfortunately we're unable to actually get around the corner. You have to remember too, with your nade, you're essentially a 300 health support. So we shouldn't be too worried. And honestly, up distance Ana is not a bad option, because you're going to be healing you and the tank, and anyone that gets close to you is going to be instantly antied. And with the comp you're playing against, you're playing an Ashe and a Torb, so honestly I think you guys win the brawl. If you guys were fighting a Roadhog and a Reaper, I wouldn't play that way, but clearly that's not the case. You're going to be the last one to touch, I'm assuming. Okay, and then we just don't touch. So what you should have done there is you should have came over, slept her, and then touched cart, backed off, hid, touched cart again or something. Instead, you just kind of backed off and you just ran away. Your Moira also had ult too, so if you prioritized touching cart, maybe they would have all focused you, and then the Moira would have kept you up with Coalescence. Yeah, we're getting a little too, I think, damage on her, and we're not enough heal on her. If you guys do enjoy watching this video and you feel like you've learned something, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I try to post videos about once a week to help you guys climb. And if you guys have any videos you want me to review, feel free to drop it in the comments below. If you have any other tips you want to learn about Ana, feel free to comment that down below too. I try to answer anything that I possibly can to help you guys climb to higher ranks. So high ground's definitely going to be our friend as Ana here. You just have to be wary of the potential that there's going to be enemy snipers. Obviously, Widow does really well on Dorado because she's going to grapple hook here and here. Where we're standing isn't bad. I would just hope that we're standing more towards the side. Widow's looking straight at us. Don't peek the Widow. So there's one thing I really hate about where we're standing. You're walking between this point and this point. Your wall is right here. So instead of you side shuffling here. I want you to be side shuffling here and coming over here. The other alternative is you see that the Widow is coming here, so you know her sight lines are going to be here, right? So if you played here, you'd be able to see your whole team, and Widow wouldn't be able to actually do anything unless you moved away from where her cover is over to here, which Soldier should easily be able to punish. In terms of where the enemy's positioned, you're not standing in the best spot. Here's going to be much better. Aim's going to be something you need to work on. You'll get that with just practice, but I'm seeing a lot of missed shots. Just stop, do a lot less flicks. They're not going to help, and place your crosshair. If you end up flicking, you're just doing what damage heroes do, and that's not really what a support wants to do. A support kind of has a placed crosshair because you know your teammate is going to be strafing back and forth in one spot, right? If you're flicking, then you're going to be missing that strafing that your teammate's going to be doing. You hear the footsteps. You know he's coming up behind. If you know he's coming up behind, you should help your soldier out. You probably actually want to throw a sleep first, see if you hit the sleep. If you do, great, that person's instantly dead. And if you miss the sleep, throw the nade, because that's going to be your second source of damage. You hear the footsteps, so you know he's going to be coming up. This is good to be waiting. Unlucky. That was a good combo. A Coalescence Moira you're not going to kill by yourself, so you might as well stop shooting at her. It's not going to do much. Instead, you want to focus your resources on other things. Or maybe if you can hit her with an anti while she's coalescing, then you can punish her off. But you just shooting at her without any kind of anti on her is not going to do anything. Yep, that's a good rotation off. You know that they're coming for you. You can rotate back up. That's fine. Might not be the best rotation up. I don't actually know what we're doing here. That was a very sketchy rotate. As soon as you dropped, you probably should have walked through the choke up. So that was just a bad walk on your part, but way to correct it. Because we used our sleep, we don't have a sleep for when she flew in there.
Careful.
I've got you in my sights.
Okay, so that was a throw. You might not think it was a throw because you didn't really see what happened. So you know he's up there and you pinged it, so that was good. And we're just going to watch the rest of your team when he pops it. So your Moira's getting shot. We can heal her with a nade.
I've got you.
Instead, we throw our nade right here into the soldier, but he's already out of position, and there's Kiriko right there, so she's just going to cleanse that anyways if that hits. So instead of saving our team, he dies. That's our other main healer, by the way. She probably has more healing than you this game. She's now getting shot at. We're not healing her. Instead, we're still looking at the soldier up here. So now she's dead. So we've lost a damage, we lost a support, and we have a damage popping visor right now. D.Va's diving him, though. And I think now you're going for heals? Yeah, now you're going for heals, but he's getting DM'd. So there's nothing you can do about that either. So now 3 people have died, probably all because of you, especially because if we had a Moira, he would have been getting healed because your Moira would have been able to heal through Matrix. But because we didn't save our Moira, this is all snowballing. So I would say this fight is really your loss. This was your turn to clutch, and we just failed on it. Unfortunately, we didn't rotate fast enough to that Orisa either. Now we're going to stagger. So this is fun. How are we going to get out of this one? Your entire team's fighting a 5v4 right now. So I guess we get a lucky flank and get both supports, I think. You're shooting at Bob, though, and not healing your Orisa. You could have definitely kept your Orisa up with that nade. So in a situation like that, where it's a lost fight, you walking over here, waiting, and then coming back here is just going to be more of a stagger. Second thing is, when they finally grouped up, you were fighting a Bob here, Bob is going to leave in 10 seconds anyways. You had an Orisa on cart. That was critical. We definitely need to be more aware of our team awareness and just where everyone is. But if you ever get in a situation where you feel like you're just gonna die anyways, instead of you stalling yourself over here and staggering for the 8 seconds, just get on cart, stall the cart out for as long as you can, and that's gonna get your team grouped up enough, especially with the sim TP, that you're gonna get back for a recontest, and it's gonna actually be a good recontest rather than that sloppy recontest. Because that was probably a last second, oh, we need to touch cart because no one can touch cart. So keep that in mind. So, defense here, I like to play in the vault. Probably going to be your best option. Your team seems to be holding a little bit closer, so yeah, this corner is going to be a good corner that I hold. We're just missing all of our shots there. That's unfortunate. We just need to scope in more on that. If you scoped in, I'm sure you would hit your shots on that Orisa more. Future reference, there is a car right there, and I think this pole even blocks it. And yeah, they just cap it because you guys can't get back. So there's a couple things we need to work on. Number one, the most important part, is going to be on attack. We gotta push through those chokes more. Second most important thing, we gotta make sure that we are keeping an eye on what is most important during every fight. There's a lot of times where you forgot that you were mainly a healer and you went away from healing your tank, the most important part of a Ana. Ana and tank go hand in hand because the tank's able to farm nano for you, in which case you can nano the tank, save their life, and they can keep doing tank things. Final thing is going to be, if you are going to die because your entire team is dead, the best thing you can do is probably to jump on payload and stall it. There's only going to be a couple instances where it's actually better to not touch cart, and that's going to be if your team has all died and you actually are able to escape and regroup with your team. And it's overtime. It's usually the only exception. I hope we helped cover a lot of those tips here on this VOD review, and I wish you well in climbing. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you guys in another video.